is Monday with all of its splendor. I hope that you had an eventful day. I hope that your day ended on a good note. I hope that you're anticipating a wonderful week. Real fast, I wanted to just get on here, and a friend of mine asked me to expound on what I was talking about, when in fact I talked about how a friend of mine told me many, many years ago that 98% of the people that you argue with, 90% of the people that ruff your feathers are people you know. And in some of those cases, they were those people who called you brother at one time or called you sister at one time. And now they're on the other side attacking your character. But I wanted to take it a step forward and talk about those type of people. Those type of people. One of the caliber, or one of the types, or one of those cluster of people are the people who don't want to let you go to be who you are becoming. They fell in love with the person that you were. They fell in love with all your imperfections. They fell in love with when you were a hot mess. And they liked that person. They liked that person. Why? Because perhaps it may have been on their level, or it may have been beneath them, or it may have appeared that you were stuck in their eyes, and they were okay with you being stuck. And as a result, the person that you are becoming, the new you, when you're trying to talk proper, or when you're seeking new endeavors, you want to open up a business, or you want to write a book, or you want to you want to go back to school or whatever. And when you say these things to that person, all of a sudden it ruffles feathers. And now you find yourself at odds with this person, not because of anything that you did wrong, but because of everything that you did right. And some of our rights are wrong in other people's eyes. Let me say it to you again. Some of the things that we're trying to do right in our life appears to be wrong in other people's lives. And so as a result, when we try to become a better person, they either want to attack us, they either want to throw shots at us, or their objective is to make us rethink what we thought was a great idea. Some people just love it. They just love the old you, or they don't want to let go of the old you, or they can't see past the old you, no matter what you do. Yeah. I remember years ago when I was in my 20s, and my 30s, I would party a lot. I would still go to church or whatever. I would wake up going to church with a little hangover or whatever. I would party a lot. Flying all around the country, going here, going there, participating in this event, that event. It really wasn't healthy for who I was becoming. However, I needed that. Yeah, I needed that to make me better, to understand what I don't want to participate in and what I don't want to be like. And there were those that perhaps may have partied with me, people that I work with, or people that I hung out with, or people that we frequent the same places, so on and so forth. And some of those people don't want to let go of the old me. I remember specifically, I told a friend of mine many, many years ago, I never forget this. I said to him, man, I'm going to start preaching. God called me to preach, and I want you to come hear me with my initial sermon or whatever. I was changing, letting go of all the bad habits. He said to me, and I'll never forget this. He said to me, Cook, I will never come hear you speak. I said, what you mean? He said, because I know too much of what you've done. Let me give it to you again. He said, Cook, I will never come hear you speak. If you write a book, I'll never come to your book signing. I'll never come to any of your events because I know too much of what you've done. Now, keep in mind, the only thing he knows is, maybe some women or whatever, or maybe because I may have drank some vodka or some cranberry and vodka. But in terms of from an integrity perspective or a moral perspective, ain't none of that. But from the little bit that he may know about me, the dipping and dabbing. Everybody, all of us have flaws. But because of that, because of those past issues, he refused to let it go. And there's some people in your family, there's some people in your life, there's some people that that's in your sphere, that's in your circle. They can never see you being great. They can never see the person that you're becoming. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with some people will never want you to be who you're destined to be. When we look at the prodigal son, he was in a pig pen, a hot mess. When he came back to the father gave him a cloak. He said, we're going to celebrate him coming out. And people around him had issues because they knew where he came from. They knew what he did. He took his inheritance and he went, and now he's in a pig pen. He's coming back stinking. And in their mind, you want to bless that? You have to be willing to let go of other people's past opinions. Listen to me. So he didn't want to come. And that's okay. And others don't want to come. And that's okay. Went on, become successful, bachelor's, master's degree. Not to say that I'm better than him, but I'm okay. Went on to speak at here and speak there, get invited to do this, get invited to do that. Not to say that I'm better than him, but I'm okay. Went on to be successful in different areas of my life in spite of what he knows. It's okay. Listen to me. You can't compete where you don't compare. You can't compete with something where you don't compare. And the people that throw dots at you, you keep trying to compete for their applause or their approval, but you don't even compare to them. They're not even on your level, but you want them to validate you. You want them to applaud what you're doing. You're not even on the same level as them. They're not even on the same level as you. But oftentimes we want to dummy down who we are or who we are becoming to fit the mold of what was. To fit the mold of what they thought we should be. And so now, after much success, they begin to throw the darts at the new you. They begin to say little things at the new you. Why? Because the new you is not fitting the mold of their small thinking. Did you hear what I said? The new you doesn't fit the mold of their little brain. You see that? The new you doesn't fit the mold of their stinking thinking. You can't compete where you don't compare. Who you were is not who you are, is not who you will be. And so if that's a fact, the fact doesn't need any support. You have to be willing to go past other people's opinions of you. You have to be willing to terminate the contract of their thought process. He and I, still cool. Have no hard feelings. Because you have to let people take ownership of their own opinion. You have to let people take ownership of their own feelings. You have to let people take ownership on who they thought or what they look at as success, while you take ownership. Not you take ownership of, yes, of the things that you've done. We take ownership because you did it. However, we're putting those things behind us. And we're pressing towards the mark of our high calling. What does our high calling look like? Anything that you're destined to be. Anything that's attached to your destiny. Anything that you feel as if, or you prayed on it and God told you that this is what's going to happen. Whatever it is, if you want to go write the book, write it. Put things in there. Forget about what they know about you. Write it. If you want to go open a business, so what? You robbed people back in the day. So what? You stole. So what? You did X, Y, Z. Open the business. Yeah. Forget about what was behind us. It's about what's going forward. And when you get in your destiny, God will align people that aligns with your purpose, not your past. God will align people when you look beyond their thoughts. God will align people that's in contact or that's attached to your purpose. And he will remove people that's attached to your past. Get it? Forget about it. If they don't want to forgive you, if they don't want to forget the past, that's on them. You're thinking about new areas of opportunity. You're thinking about growth. You're thinking about becoming the person that you never thought you would become. You're thinking about going high while they stay low. It's your time to shine. We're not worried about them. Nah. We're looking past them. We're moving past them. We're growing past them. We're going like Superman, up, and away. Away from what was. And going to what can be, what shall be, what is going to be. Let's make it happen. Let's go.